Katie, makeup artist and founder of beautyandtheboutique.com, and in this video, get ready because I'm going to share with you my top tips for getting a perfected look to your makeup but without wearing a ton of it. So if you're someone that doesn't like the feel of foundation or that doesn't like the feel of makeup on your skin but wants that kind of fresh-faced glowy look, keep watching because I think these tips are really going to make a difference to how you apply your makeup each morning. And if you've never applied a primer before, I think learning about primers could be a real game changer for your foundation and or concealer. And the reason being is this. If you've ever found that your foundation or your concealer wears off within a few hours and it almost feels like, do you know, my skin has actually eaten the foundation off my face, that likely is true. I mean, it doesn't actually eat it as such, but your own natural oils in your skin breaks down the foundation and the concealer and it kind of just disappears into nothing. So if you find that you have that with your foundation or your concealer, try researching a primer that's going to work for your skin. And the reason a primer will help your foundation or your concealer stay on longer is because it acts as a barrier between your skin and the makeup that sits on top. So it means that your foundation and concealer will last longer because it's a barrier between your natural oils and that foundation. Now the primer that I'm going to be using today is this primer, and it's especially designed to plump out the skin and also diffuse the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Now, I absolutely love this primer because it feels like a serum and a primer had a baby and created this. So it leaves my skin feeling really nourished, really plump and youthful, but it doesn't leave it feeling sticky, or it just feels really smooth and ready for my foundation. So I'm going to apply this now, and I will apply this all over my face. I'll be quite generous with it. Take it down a little bit of my neck as well, because this has really nice peptides in it, and peptides are really great ingredients for our skin because they actively work to help reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. And I'm just going to let that soak in for a few moments before I go on to the next step. I don't know about you, but whenever I go to a lovely sunny place and take some time off work, I always feel like, oh, I don't need to wear so much makeup because my skin just looks more glowy. Now, there is a reason for that, and I think it's the sunshine and it giving us a slight warmth of colour to our skin tone. Now, I say, rather than kind of put up for the rest of the year when we're not on vacation or holiday, let's cheat that look by warming up our complexion with a very subtle, natural looking fluid bronzer. Now what I'm going to share with you is this photography fluid opacity contrasting system. It sounds very long-winded, it sounds very complicated, but essentially this is an Instagram filter in a bottle. And what this does is it warms up the complexion to look like you're not only rested and glowing, but that you've had 2 weeks off of normal everyday life and you look just fresh and healthy. Now, the reason I'm going to apply this before I even go to attempt to apply foundation or concealer is because by adding warmth to our skin, we will normally find that we don't actually need to wear as much foundation or concealer because this will have just lifted our natural skin tone to look the best it can. So to do this, I'm going to apply a few drops onto the back of my hand. Then with my clean fingers, I'm simply going to massage this in all over my face. Now the trick with this product is to either wear a really smoothing primer underneath like I have, or a moisturiser that's quite nourishing, because I find this blends in to look the most natural when you have a certain slippage underneath this product to really help the blend. It feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm actually wearing anything. So if you're someone that hates the feel of heavy products on your skin, you're really going to enjoy this. And I'd also say if you're someone that doesn't like to wear foundation, but still wants to give their complexion a little boost, you will really enjoy this product. And this shade is really clever because it adapts to your skin tone without looking fake or heavy, or like your face is overly bronzed and the rest of you isn't. It's just a very subtle, sun-kissed glow. The other advantage of applying just a subtle glow to your skin before you even reach for your concealer is that if, like me, you have dark circles under your eyes, what this does is, by making this skin here just a little bit more warmer, I don't have so much contrast between the darkness under my eyes and the paleness of my skin. So it kind of means that I don't need to wear as much concealer to make myself look rested. Now I'm going to show you how you can wear your concealer in such a way that gives your complexion the look of foundation. And when I say the look of foundation, I mean like coverage with just concealer. This is a great technique for when you're on the go, or perhaps you don't like the feel of wearing foundation all over your face. I'm going to be using this Veil Complexion Fix. It's a very kind of light to medium coverage concealer. What I love about it is it lets your skin show through, so it's very natural looking. Now I'm going to just twist it up, put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to show you where to apply your concealer at home so that you can get the look of foundation without putting it all over your face. So to start with, we're going to apply it under our eyes, and we're just going to focus this around the inner inside corner of our under eye, because often we don't have much darkness here. And if you're someone that is concerned about lovely laughter lines here, you don't have to put concealer or foundation here. You can often find that you can leave this free and just apply the product where the darkness is, which is often towards the inner corner of the nose. You'll also notice that as I apply the concealer, this is a really good tip, is I will tap and press the concealer into my skin. I'm not essentially wiping it, and I see a lot of us intuitively go to put on concealer and we go to wipe it, but what that does is it means that you actually end up applying more, because you're not allowing it to fully soak into your skin before applying another layer of concealer if you need it. And if it's a good concealer, it should just sink into your skin. If you find you've applied too much, then I would go in and do a feathering motion to blend it out almost into nothing. What I love about this Veil Complexion Fix is that it feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything. It feels like kind of just no makeup, which I absolutely love. Now, where I've applied the tanning fluid on my eyelids, it's created a little bit of definition. So I'm actually going to leave my lids free of any eyeshadow, but what I am going to do is take my concealer and apply this just to my brow bone here. And what this is going to do, it's going to ever so slightly lift my brow bone and create a touch more contrast between the colour of my eyelid and my brow bone, which will make my eyes look like I've actually done something to them other than just put a swoosh of tan on them. Now it's worth me mentioning at this point that when I used this is a wash off tan, so it doesn't last. You can just put it on and wash it off at night. So it's kind of like a foolproof way of looking glowy. So applied under my eyes, and now I'm going to show you how you can use your concealer at home to create a really perfected look to your complexion in just key areas. So the next place we're going to place our concealer is put just a little touch down the center of our nose. And the reason we do this is because just by creating a touch more coverage in the center part of our face, it gives the illusion that the rest of our skin is kind of perfected too. I'm also going to apply a little bit around the corners of my nose because this is where we have redness. Well, I do, and I think a lot of us women have a little bit of redness around here. And if you're someone that has redness on their cheeks that you prefer not to have, then you're simply going to draw little concealer whiskers like this. And then tap in. Again, you'll notice I'm only focusing around the center of my face. And even as I move, because this is a really natural looking concealer, you can create the look of perfected skin without wearing lots of foundation. The next place we're going to apply our concealer is on our chin. And to do that, it's just as easy. Simply going to draw a little cross in the center of your chin and then tap. If you need a touch more coverage, then repeat. Don't worry if you apply too much. I'd probably put a little bit too much on this time. If I just keep patting, it will all soak into my skin and look seamless. Now, if you're someone that wants to create a bit more of a lift to this area of your face, then simply with your concealer, you're going to draw a little line into those lines there, tap, and this is going to create a subtle lifting effect to any area around your mouth, and also apply just a touch to the corners of your mouth as well, because sometimes we get a little bit of redness here as well. To complete, you're simply going to draw an X on your forehead, like so, and tap. And you're focusing that X around here, so it's really our T-zone that we're perfecting. And once again, by perfecting our T-zone, it's going to give us the look of a full kind of perfected complexion. On screen now, you're going to see the before. Keep watching because I've got some more tips to share with you that I think are really going to help you in your makeup application. But if you can look at the before right now and then see what I've created with just 3 products, and I've not used a lot of any of them. And even if you were just to apply your concealer at home in key areas, I think you would really, really enjoy the results you get from it. So I'm applying my mascara next of all, and this is one of my favourite mascaras because it's got such a thin wand, which means I can get the mascara right at the root of the lash, give it a wiggle, almost stamp the product onto the upper lash line, and this gives the look of eyeliner without wearing eyeliner. Because the wand is so thin and the pigment is so rich and black, it means by stamping that product right onto the almost like the upper waterline there, it kind of gives the look of eyeliner without even having to apply it. And I get a full lash look, but it's still got a softness to it, so it doesn't look like really cakey mascara. You'll notice when I go to apply, I press and wiggle onto the waterline, and I do that a few times, and then I lift up. And the reason I do this is by getting most of the product onto the base of the lash line and the least amount on the tips. You'll find that if you do that technique at home, you won't get as many clogs in your mascara, and your mascara will just look a little bit more fluffy and lighter. So we've created this kind of perfected look to our skin, but that doesn't look fake or cakey. It hopefully still looks like your skin if you follow these tips at home. The last thing we're going to do is just to finally give our complexion that bit of a boost, is to apply a bit of colour to our cheeks and our lips. And if you're someone that hasn't typically applied colour to their cheeks before, I think you're really going to love this next technique, because it will bring a glowy look to your complexion that almost gives your complexion the look of like you've had almost a really lovely facial, but in fact, you've just applied a lip and cheek balm. And this one not only soothes and nourishes, but it has a tint of colour in it as well. And it's pretty much foolproof. So if you're not confident in applying blusher or cheek tint, this can be blended into nothing. So if you go wrong, it's no biggie. But you won't go wrong because it's so easy. Now, what I will do is put a little bit onto my finger, put onto the back of my hand, so I don't pick up quite as much. This is going to be my palette. And then I'm going to tap on to my cheeks. And I'm going to put this to kind of go from my pupil to find my cheeky part here. So you go down like that, find that little apple of your cheek there, tap on, and then in circular motions blend up to the top of your ear. And if you feel like you've put too much on, with a clean finger just keep pressing that product in. I'm going to put a little bit more on there, just onto the apple of my cheek. So my top tip for making your skin look really beautiful without wearing lots of product is to choose a product for your cheek that bounces light off it. And it's this sheeny look to our cheeks that makes the rest of our complexion looking really plump, youthful and rested. Finally, I will take the leftover from the back of my hand and I will apply it to my lips. You can go for a soft wash of colour like this, or if you want slightly more depth of colour, just layer up, put another layer on. It's so easy that you could apply this without even looking in a mirror and you wouldn't go wrong with it. I hope you feel you've learned something in this video, and if you want to find out more about the products that I've used, I will put the link somewhere above or below. But just to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon in another video. Bye.